shoe. NAFDAC was the one that used to have revived Dr. Akinyuli,
Yes.
That's why I said it's a very big shoe she left behind. And we have invited you severally. Clark, am I right?
Yes, sir.
Before now. Did they honor anyone? Clark?
No, sir.
So, madam, would like to start from there first. Why we had to practically fight, struggle to get your agency to come, just to answer to.
Distinguished, I'm sorry for the fact that I could not attend in person. I was on official duties. And we wrote letters anytime that there is a conflict. And usually I will not, either I was on the road when the letters, or the letter rather, at a particular time comes in. But apologies for that. It is part of the complexity of NAFDAC's regulations, or as a regulatory authority. But it was not intentional at all. Thank you, sir.
It was very difficult because apart from a presidential invitation, the National Assembly invitation is the next most important invitation. You are a very qualified person. I know that one day, if you try, you'll get a senator. So you understand that it's not easy to be here to do this job. It was very difficult explaining why you've not been attending. We all stay in Abuja. Your headquarters is here in Abuja. The National Assembly is here in Abuja. And with the way Abuja roads have been configured, no place is 10 minutes away from the other. And so once anybody refuses to come to answer to one or two things, it then means that the person either has a chip on his shoulder or her shoulder, or there is something to hide. Otherwise, it doesn't take anything to sit down and look at records. Even if there is anything, it could be looked at and the solution sorted. But we called, we wrote so many times. How many times do we write? No reply.
There is always a reply, sir.
Okay.
There was a time they replied with a copy the DG that was out of the country.
We now felt that something was amiss. Two letters coming in the same day on the same issue with different explanations. So we didn't quite like that. But now you're here. I want to appeal that each time you call, we call, please try to attend. If you can't attend, you come in person, alone, before the time, and say, see, oh, this is this. We reschedule for so many orders. If you can't make it and we look at it from all human angles and see that you can't make it, we won't say you must come here. It's not punitive. You have not committed any crime. You're a free Nigerian, you're a very respected Nigerian. All of you. It's not a day's job. You go through processes to qualify to be there. So you are equally very critical stakeholders in the Nigerian nation. So please, let's do this thing together, and so that when you sit here too and we sit there, we will help you do the job. So you're welcome.
Thank you, sir.
surplus and minus surplus and deficit means?
Sorry. This is our own analysis.
Okay. Thank you very much, Chairman. Are having much larger numbers of staff, and some states are having very few number of staff. Even when we look at it regionally, some regions are more represented than the others. Please, what is the rationale for this, and how do you rectify these issues? Or what are your plans to rectify these issues?
Thank you very much, sir. That was unfairly distributed in terms of number of staff per region. In civil service, you cannot dismiss people based on the fact that they came from a different region. It was lopsided, very lopsided and very unfair. But something that has been done 30, almost 25 years before I came, there is nothing I could do but to do the right thing. And we have been doing the right thing since I came. The federal character, the FCC office will send us the distribution, the chart, how many we should hire from a particular state. We did not deviate from it because it's the fairest thing to do. And I remember my first meeting with the committee. They asked me, what am I going to do now? That was about 6 years ago. And I said, I will just be fair, as much as possible, be fair. And we have our record with the FCC. They give us compliance certificate because there is no person that should be left behind in Nigeria. That is my own way of looking at things. But things were bad before I got there. Over. Thank you, sir.
No, we understand. I understand. Okay. How long have you been there?
7 years, sir. 7 years.
And for 7 years, you were still...
We have hired 66 plus 150, that's 210, and then plus another maybe 150 last year. So about 350 or 60 over 7 years. We are extremely short-staffed.
Okay. If you have hired that number in the past 7 years, why do we still have some that are excessively? I can see lopsidedness, and I can tell the reason why. I've looked at Anambra. It's up to today. It is. Sorry, my colleague, I know you're from Anambra.
Yes, sir.
The first DG is from Anambra. So, God rest her soul.
Yes.
But I imagine that was the reason why. So if after 20, 25 years, it's still like this, then what it will mean that if you have that in Benue, it means that there was a powerful member from Benue.
Oh, look, the next DG was from Benue.
So that's what I'm saying. So you can tell why. You can tell why. And some of them will be sitting in their homes, supporting one coalition on the other. This will change, this will change that. Look at the problem they caused 20 years ago. We are still cleaning them. 20 years ago, they will be suggesting to Nigerians how to make things happen, how to make this should be this one is this. Meanwhile, what they created 20 years ago is still on. That's what we are trying to clear. And they want to come and continue where they stopped in the name of changing again. You know, this 20 years ago. So I noticed those areas. And if you follow the history of other ones we've looked at, you will see that for everywhere you have excessive employment, somebody strong comes from there. And Nigeria can't be run like that. But the question now is, having employed 100, 200 and something, why do we still have states like Kano, states like Katsina, Kebbi, Jigawa, Sokoto? I don't want to say rivers because they will say because I'm a rivers man. Okay. They will say I'm a rivers man. That is the reason I have pointed out.
Oceans man.
Yeah. So that's the reason I am going to other areas. Why did employment then not? Why did you not use that to try to bring up these areas? Because these days in Nigeria, you can't say you don't have qualified people. So you have qualified people all over Nigeria. So why is it that if you go to Southwest, it's even worse. Southwest. Everywhere in the Southwest is understaffed, underemployed. Everywhere in Southwest, Ekiti, Lagos, Ogun, Ondo, apart from Osun and Oyo, the rest. Then Northwest is even the worst. Outside Kaduna, the rest, excessively underemployed. River State, the same thing. Yes.
Thank you.
So introduce yourself.
Colleagues, our invited guests, the Secretariat staff. My name is Dr. Tony Moy, representing Anambra North, a member of the committee. Well, Prof, what my chairman was trying to say, which I'm trying to put a kind of a rider, is that, yes, from what you told us, you have been trying to correct the imbalance. But our own view is that almost 7 years, and you have employed close to 300. We thought that this gap would have closed more by now. Because, for instance, a state like Rivers, not because from Rivers, yes, my state got a good share, Anambra. Now, if Rivers, as big as River is getting plus or minus, I think, 40 here, why is it that 300 persons that you have employed so far, that you could have convinced the Federal Character Commission so as to spread it, to be able to balance it more, that is, try to close the gap more? Because Federal Character, yes, they will say, let it, in your employment, you are going to do, let it reflect Federal Character. But the onus lied on you at that material point in time to explain to them, to say, this is our nominal rule, this is spread. Some states habitual change. That's what I'm trying to say. So in your future employment, yes, my state got a good share, good and fine. But some of these states that are just change, in future, whether it's replacement or fresh employment, that those lies on you in future, to tell them, see, some of these states will need to give them far more to be able to bridge the gap more. That is what we are trying to say. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Ayat, we get a chart from the Federal Character. This is how many you should employ, and they have been very fair. For Anambra, they will say 0. For Benue, they will say 1. So they've been very fair. Jigawa, they may say 7 or 6, and we have done that. It is a gradual correction of something that has been so lopsided. It is a reflection of how lopsided it was, that we cannot correct overnight, and also we have not been able to hire as many as we should have. So I understand where you are coming from, sir, but Federal Character also cannot just say, okay, hire 20 from this state, because they also want to, and they are doing it in a scientific way, because they will give us a chart that NAFDAC has so many from this area or from this state, therefore do not hire from this state. So it's been very fair, sir. It's just unfortunate that whatever wrongs have been done in the past cannot be corrected overnight. Thank you very much, sir.
And this year, and if you do, what are you going to do to correct this imbalance?
Magic wand for recruitment. We are so short-staffed that one person is doing like 3 or 4 people's job in NAFDAC. We have not been able to recruit. We are supposed to have recruited for 2024. We have not been given that approval up till today. But if we get approval to recruit, they've told us we have to advertise, and we will advertise. Again, I was a professor for 30 years in the US, and I taught in mainly white school. In the summer, when schools are on break, they will bring African Americans that are underrepresented to be prepared to come to school or to start in the fall, which is August, September. So that is the way I've looked at things from the beginning. And the record shows that since I joined NAFDAC, I've used that principle. If, for example, the cutoff is 60, and somebody that has a particular state that has not been represented, we have 58, I will take those people. Because if I want to use the cutoff straight, people will continue to be, to be stepped down. So we have been, it's just unfortunate, sir. We're on the same page, actually. It is that if we have the opportunity to recruit now, we will recruit fairly. The chart that my chairman is talking about, Rivers, Jigawa, whatever states, especially in the north, we have been very, very fair. It's just that the wrongs were too many before my time, and we will just continue to correct it. Continue to correct it so that nobody is left behind. That is my own principle. Of course, some people have been left behind, as we say. Thank you.
Chairman, still, do you have the money in the budget for recruitment? Because we have other way of getting the approval for you. But have you budgeted for the people you wanted in this year's budget?
Thank you. The federal government pays our salaries, and there is money in the budget for this year, but we have not been given approval to recruit. Thank you.
Based on what is happening here and the facts, we will have to write to get approval from the Senate so that these inequalities can be addressed to a larger degree, even though it might not be addressed 100%. But we need to assist her so that that approval will come out quickly. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon, Chairman, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Committee representing Enugu West Central District and the Minority Whip of the Senate.
Our chairman, most distinguished senators and colleagues, our guests, my name is Senator Benga Daniel, Ogun East Senatorial District.
They don't have much.
Should I go ahead?
So because of that, we are just here because we just want to do federal character job, not because there is anything. Look at the entertainment.
Mr. Chairman, distinguished colleagues, and our guests, my name is Engineer Patrick C. Ndubueze, FNN.
You will not, sir. From was it 2019 or when?
Because if you look at, as at 2024,
Yes, sir.
first page.
Second
No,
page.
I'm looking at this.
Second page.
The very first tenure.
Second page.
Anambra is 122. Imo is 110. Kogi 109.
I'm sorry, sir.
This booklet. This one, as at January 2024.
Yes. Please, sorry. You should have printed these things out from members, or give, if you have, you give to them. Let them see where I'm coming from. You can open to the first page of 2021, and then open to the first page of 2024. We asked you to give us documents from 2021 to 24. So if you look at that, you will see that you are also, either you or your human resource director. Are you from Adamawa? Yeah. Because if you look at the records, you will see that it was not geared to consciously address the problems. Look at in 2021, Adamawa was 54. Then now Adamawa is 60. You can say fine, but if I were you, I wouldn't have given them anything, because there are others that don't have anything, and there are many. But they got 4. They got 4. And if you look at Abuja, look, Abuja is not here. No, that's 2021 you're looking at. No, that's not Abuja here. So Abuja should be somewhere.
Abuja number 15.
Oh, 15, okay. Oh, FCT. They put FCT here. So Abuja is 17. In 2021, Abuja was 18. Yeah? Yes. 2021, Abuja. Look at Abuja here now.
Number 2.
Yes. Abuja 18 in 2021. In 2024, that's, you've been in government, you've been in charge for around 5 years or 6, 7. So in 2024, Abuja FCT now moved from 18 down to 17 a year after. That's 4 years after, instead of going up. And Adamawa, which was 54, moved up
60.
to 60. Abuja moved down. Abuja was down and then went further down. Adamawa was up, went slightly up. That doesn't appear to me like someone is trying to solve a problem. Because to get this thing, to balance this thing, you have to very consciously, very deliberate action. Very deliberate action to get it done. I agree with you from the very beginning that the damage was not done in 1 day and cannot be corrected in even 10 days. But that there has to be a reflection to show that it's being done. I have so much to show that it is not so.
Will I reply, sir?
Okay. There
Yes.
are many of them like that.
Yeah, it is a dynamic process. People resign, people retire, people japa. And then we
Well, let's stop. Let's not go there. You know, we sit here every day.
Yes, sir.
There is no reason you will give to us that will not hurt. You know, will there be resigning in Abuja that people jump and resign? Nobody's resigning from Anambra. Nobody's resigning from other area, Adamawa. Nobody's resigning. Only Abuja. I can show you others. That is not the reason, madam. Please.
Yes, that's why I said it's dynamic. Is if you look
Okay.
at
Of resignation of these people.
Let her explain, please,
No,
sir.
So
yes, yes,
because
sir.
I don't like
Just-
us going that route
Please,
all
let
the
her,
time.
let her explain,
Sir,
please.
if you look at 2025, Abuja is 45. So that's why it is not, we just try to be as fair as possible. There are other reasons why it may go down and go up. It is when it is significant that it comes, to attention, or it calls for attention rather. So 2025 Abuja is 20.
2024, 2025.
2025, sir. FCT.
You have to leave the track.
FCT. Yes, sir. May.
We don't have that.
No,
We're not giving that. My rules for inclusion of
it was given.
what,
Yes, 2025.
the latest rather are 2024.
The chair, what the chairman is saying, back in 2021 had 18, and Abuja in 2024 have 17. So, despite whatever challenges you are having,
It doesn't seem to be that there is this conscious decision that you are trying to prep up Abuja. We appreciate that 2025 you have 20, but we would have expected a much better performance. That's what we are just saying.
Okay, let me put it 2 years ago. I was appointed chairman of Federal Character. And then I tried to acquaint myself with what was expected of the committee, and as chairman, what I am supposed to do. I started looking at records, because whether you're a mathematician or not, statistics is important here, numbers. So that's the only way you can come up with what will make any meaning. And that was why I said, let's not go that route. Whatever thing you will tell us in terms of defense, we've had them.
It's the numbers that speak.
We want to look at the numbers, how the numbers have been placed over the years. If correction is being carried out, it will also reflect here. I'm not even using 2025, I'm using 2024, but even in that 2024, you will see something that should have been done that was not done. That's the point we are saying. And I'm not saying that you cost them. Now, we are looking at, as the chief executive there, as CEO, what you have been doing to gradually bring them down. And for me, as chairman here, I don't think that enough is being done. I don't think so. It could be, you are trying, but it's not something you do on impulse. These people, don't give them 133. Okay, fine, don't give 133. Who are you going to give? I don't know how many of you read Things Fall Apart. China Achebe in that book said, if a bird takes off from the floor, from the ground, and perches on an anthill, it's still on the ground. Because the anthill is just an extension of the ground. So if you remove, you don't give Anambra, you don't give Imo, you don't give Kogi, you don't give Kebbi, all the high ones. And then where did you take it to? It's the second part of that solution. First solution was, these people have enough. So we have this. Second is, where will these ones go to? You have not done well there. But the ones that should get, I'm from River State, and I'm not happy with the number I'm seeing here. Why didn't the mistake go to Rivers? Oh yes, that's where I come from. They'll be voting for me. So what will I tell them when I get home?
You even have 43. Kebbi have 37.
You talk for Kebbi now.
You don't go talk for me. You are the chairman. You are the chairman. Talk for me now.
Then I'm talking for everybody. I'm just using that as an instance.
I understand.
Can I?
Yes.
You, man. several MDAs, maybe except ICPC. Others,
perhaps INEC.
Others are very lopsided. And one thing is that the one thing critical is that we have first identified this problem. The next is the willingness and the honesty to resolve it. Because most agencies still goes back to continue to make the same mistake. It is going to be an effort that is fertile. If after the daily sittings we have here, then we still allow lopsidedness to continue. Madam, one thing we have to do, it didn't start with NAFDAC, so the problem didn't start with you. But the problem is that people come in and continue with the same trajectory. So instead of us solving the problem, I saw Anambra is 113, obviously the highest, and we know why. And that's the same thing everybody said. So somebody becomes a DG and packs his people into the agency and throw away the Federal Character Act, which is constitutional. So we just do things anyhow and the way we want it. But it's good that we start now to correct it. If we check the number of people that was employed from the time you joined, probably I'm sure, I'm not saying you're biased, but I'm sure you never considered the Federal Character Principle. You have not gone to the Federal Character Act to check if your employment pattern is in compliance. I'm sure you have not. But I'm not saying you're biased, you are bringing your people only.
Federal character gives us the chart.
The chart. So,
yes,
so the problem is even from head to toe.
Yes.
So what we will need to do is, good
No,
at this.
sorry, when you say federal character, so that
The camera will catch it.
will take both of you. You're saying federal character commission, not committee.
Commission. Okay.
Federal character commission.
What we need to do.
We will also bring them here. We're going to bring them here. Look at, we've written that, all your compliances and all of that.
Chairman, let me just land. Good thing here is that you are the chairman, Senate Committee chairman of Federal Character, and the chairman of Legislative Compliance is also here in this meeting. So, when we finish with them, we'll start getting our resolution intact, and we will have to follow up to the letter. We are doing our constitutional duty. So we are not even, we are not pleading with any agency to comply. Compliance is a must, and we have to do our job. If my state is the one having the too much in one agency, we may be cheated in the other. So it's not even to anybody's benefit to look away when it favors you here. Because there's one that we looked at, and my state has only 6 persons, where some have 200. As bad as that. So it's completely, when somebody gets to power or gets into an office, you employ your people. Then when you leave, another person comes, employ his people. That's not good. The unity of the country cannot be sustained in that form. So we will ensure that you comply. But you also have to take it upon yourself and be willing and be honest about the compliance. Because no matter how long we stay here, the deed is done. We cannot sack people that are already employed to be able to balance it. Just that when we want to do further employment, some are not going to get. Because we have to make sure that we balance the employment in the books in terms of the principle that was established the Act. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. One also affects us in NAFDAC is the fact that we are a scientific organization. Except for HRM and accounts, we are a scientific organization. Medical doctors, lawyers, veterinarians, pharmacists, and all areas of science. Legal, yes. What I'm saying is, federal character will say, okay, hire 4 from this state. We get 6 from that state. But also gives us hire 37 pharmacists, 28 food scientists. Sir, I'm talking of, yes, I'm talking of, just practicality, and we look for pharmacists, for example, from that state. There was none, or there will be none for that particular recruitment exercise. So it is also affected by the professional areas that, yes, sir.
You understand? If they are open, unemployment is one of the biggest problems in Nigeria today. How can we say we don't have doctors and pharmacists when they are running out of the country? Some can't run because they don't have the means. And some are trying to run because they don't have the job. So if we are open and transparent, we will see these people. And also, if a state does not have pharmacists, they will have lawyers. Yes. So during employment, we'll balance it because we must respect the fair character principle. Yeah. Thank you.
We have listened to you. The difficulty. Human resources, how long have you been there? You came with her?
Yes.
Came with me?
No.
He came with you for this hearing.
So I've been in NAFDAC since my employment.
When was that?
That was 1995.
So you were part of the whole thing?
But I became in charge, I took over the headship of HR June 2023.
So you are part of the problem, eh?
You see?
Okay, off your mic, please.
Having been there, I know very well that you were not the DG. But at least if you were diligent, you know, because you came in there as a senior member of staff. Not so? Yeah. So you should be, you rising through the rank also means that you're going through files. Or do you just rise like that? So while you're working, you're going through processes, you're seeing things. What do you normally advise each time a new CEO comes in the area you are the man in charge, like this now? What was your advice to? Did you bring, because you have to bring the historical antecedents of the place as it relates to employment, starting from when the agency started. It is based on that, you brief her, it is based on that she will know exactly what. So you are a tacit participant in the, either you are afraid to say the truth so that you don't get anybody angry to save your head or something. But that, if I were you, I won't be afraid of saying what is right, for as long as it is right, and I have my facts. You know, corruption fights back. If you just say things like that, they will fight, but be sure that, look, I have my facts. And then you go ahead.
So annoying.
Especially when you did not even employ people where there is consumption of these drugs. You should know that drug consumption is mainly a coastal thing.
So sickness is coastal.
Consumption of, no. When we say NAFDAC, we're looking at so many things, how people misuse drugs and all of that. You know that people who take this codeine are mainly those who are from the coastal area.
No, these bandits now have taken over.
Bandits, some of them are from the coastal areas of other parts of Africa. They are not Nigerians, people are like.
But they take drugs now.
So you see, it's a very technical and very serious thing. You can't say that Lagos State shouldn't be taken seriously. Knowing Lagos for what it is. It is the easiest place to reach in Nigeria from any part. The distance between Lagos traveling time and any other town in Nigeria is less than an hour, or less than an hour 30 minutes. Yes. So it means that wherever, so Lagos will suffer from such a thing. The same thing with Port Harcourt. Lagos can be approached by rail. Port Harcourt, the same. They can be approached by sea. The same thing with Port Harcourt. And just telling you about the ones that are constant, which means that importation, that's what to call, even in your sciences, when you are saying dispersal of fruit, seeds, is done by so many things. And if you have a lot of these agents that causes dispersal, it means that there will be a concentration of it. So if you have cities that have all the major systems of, entry, transport, it means that there will be major in the whole thing. And I just can't tell Lagos, I said Port Harcourt, and maybe Kano, because of the trade between, it's the biggest commercial center in the north, and so everything, goes there. So please, we don't want to keep you for too long. Can give you a piece of what we did, so that you put it side by side what you have, and develop something that we will look at, so that I can work out a work plan, an employment plan, for you, that will probably address this issue of imbalance. Because if you look at the commission alone, the commission, all of them, they are trying to prepare their rules for future politics. So they give to their people. When they come to campaign, they say, I gave you a job. So that's not what the agency was created for. So now, as a closing remark from you, can you tell us your own idea how you think you now will conduct employment to solve this problem as best as you can?
Thank you very much, sir. My opinion is that everybody should be represented right from the beginning, and I've not wavered. But your points are well taken, the sense that there are still some states that may be a little higher than where they are now, not that we will correct everything. But part of what has also hampered us is delay in recruitment. By the time they give us approval, it's now rush. That doesn't mean we don't have piles of potential candidates.
Listen, they want to employ a leader.
We also seek our committee members that are from different states. I'm very, very proactive about that. Our council members from the north, please get me people that are qualified, because we cannot get unqualified people to do scientific things. If not, the drug that we're using, the food that we're using will be affected. So I'm very deliberate. Please get people from your state that are qualified. But now we're going to be advertising. But aside from that, I'm still going to seek people, please, because sometimes if we're not deliberate, we will not find. So again, sir, I believe on one-on-one in terms of asking for people that are qualified. I have, once we are about to get recruitment, I have my WhatsApp that I will send. They must be qualified though. If they are not qualified, I will not take them. Sure. That's just the way I will send to Chief of Staff, to the House Committee, our committees. They must be qualified. Because I know that on the long run, that chart that Federal Character Commission gave us, we will be as close as possible. Not that it will be perfect, but we will be as close as possible to it. Because they are also looking at the lopsidedness in the agency. So, sir, what we are waiting for now is approval. It's hurting us badly. What NAFDAC is an agency that is audited by international organizations. And WHO is our primary chief auditor. They determine who is matured, who is not matured. Part of our problem now is staffing. Part of our problem is staffing. We are burning candles from both ends because of lack of staff. So if these people, the number they've approved up for us in 2024 is given, then at that point, we will call, we will advertise, but we will look for qualified staff. And we have many people that are qualified in this country.
Okay.
Just like my distinguished said, that we have people that don't have jobs, you know. So please trust me that I'm as fair as possible, but I'm also very proactive when it comes to seeking for qualified people. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay. Before we let you go,
Yes, sir.
I would and I want to appeal to you that we have to do these things together. Like I told you in my opening remark, that we need you, you need us. We all belong here. And your job is very important. You know the problems in Nigeria. Herdsmen problem, Boko Haram, in the Niger Delta, you have militancy and all of that. And you cannot have these things without them being under, most of them act when they're under influence, some of these drugs. They act under the influence of drugs. And then of course, we also know that some other people, some other producers, some other marketing pharmacies would sell fake drugs, which even tasting the death of somebody who is looking for how to survive. So so we need you to cooperate with us. We have a lot of experienced people here, very. Before coming into politics, they've handled offices. You'll be shocked that very experienced. So if we interface with you, not always in an investigative manner like this. If we call you, where are you? You please, can I come tomorrow? Can I? You come. 1 or 2 or 3 persons will sit down with you, and we brainstorm. And then because some of these fake drugs, syndrome, are located more in some areas than others. There are some areas that it's minimal, while in other areas very concentrated. So you will need all of that, the geography of the whole thing, and so on that note, we'll ask that you take 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Today is Tuesday. So 14 days from now, we would like to hear from you again on how far you have tried to look into discussion. Yes. And then, luckily here we have chairman of compliance. Chairman of compliance. This is our guy here, the man at the top. See, this is the man at the top. So he's hearing. They need to employ. They've started the process, is it not? Yes, yes. You have started the process already. Have you? Is it not so? Madam.
Ask for approval.
Yes, we're just waiting for approval, sir.
Okay. So he is here. I am chairman of federal character. So we know the importance. This man is a very strong man. He also the senator here. So we and you are even here. Father, you have people who can, if you really are serious. See him here too. This go give man. So you have everything good. These are very strong, hardworking. They will be ready to come to your aid at any point in time. Any point in time.
very much.
That won't take you time. All we do is just go through numbers. 5 minutes, 6 minutes. That one. You can go.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Bring this. I want to welcome the TCN, Transmission Commission of Nigeria, is it? Abi? Transmission Company of Nigeria. I want to welcome you to our investigation room. This is the Federal Character and Intergovernmental Affairs Committee of the Nigerian Senate. So you're very welcome. With me here are my colleagues. They will introduce themselves.
Mr. Chairman, very distinguished colleagues, invited guests.